ancient India or Ashtadasa Vidyasthana or Ashtadasa, Vidyas of ancient India's. If you look into this Ashtadasa Vidyasthana, yeah, Ashta means Ashta means 8, Dasa means 10, Ashtadasa means 18. These are the ancient Sanskritic term we are using. Ashtadasa Vidyasthana, 18 techniques of ancient India. Here, 4 Vedihasa, Dharmashastra, Darshana, Nyaya, 14, 4 Veda, 6 Vedanga, 10, Itihasa, Dharmashastra, Darshana, Nyaya, 4, it will become 14. That is, we are calling Chaturdasa Vidyasthana. Only these 4 Veda, 6 Vedanga, Itihasa, Dharma Shastra, we are calling, Chaturdasa Vidyasthana. We are adding 4 more Upavedas. Those are the Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, and Stapatya Veda, architecture. Then 14 become 18. Those are the 18 Vidyas of ancient India or Ashtadasa Vidyas of ancient India. Hello. If you look into the history about this different literature related to this Indian knowledge system, in the context of India, where there is an unbroken living oral tradition with a history of more than at least 5,000 years. It will goes back to dates like 5,000 years back. The meaning of this literature, our present purpose has to be extended to compose with oral to composition. The composed and transmitted orally from generations to generations last 5,000 years. After that, these Vedas come, then Vedanga came, then Itihasa, Dharma Shastra, Darshana, Nyaya, and these 4 Upaveda, it will comes up. If you look, these are we are calling classical literature of India, is usually describing Chaturdasa or Ashtadasa Vidyasthana. If you look into these Vedas, we are calling 4 Veda. It is well known that the Vedas are the oldest surviving literary works in the whole world. If you look into the whole world, these are the oldest. These 4 Vedas are also sometimes we are referring as Trayi. Yes, I discussed, Chanakya in his Arthashastra, Anvikshaki, Trayi, Artha, and Dandaniti. Under we are calling these 4 Veda, we are calling Trayi. There are 3 types of mantras in metrical composition. Those that are into music, and our tradition says, Bhagavan Veda Vyasa compiled the Vedas largely based on these 3 forms. So that we are calling Rigveda. Rigveda came to the collection of mantras in the metrical form, called we are calling RKS, Rigveda. Even Yajurveda came to the collection of mantras in the prose form. And Samaveda came to the collection of mantras set to music. Like the things are coming it related to these four Vedas. Similarly, six Vedangas are there: Shiksha, Kalpa, Vakarana, Chandas, Niruktam, and Jyotisha. Itihas are also in Purana. We are having Ramayana, Mahabharata coming under Itihasa. Puranas also there. Vishnu Purana, Bhagavad Purana, a number of Puranas are there, but important Puranas we are considering, but we category of Vidyas history. Similarly, Ruti. Like that, we are having then Darshana Malasi. That is the Naya. Similar, in addition to these, Chaturdasa, we are adding four Upavedas. Those are the Ayurveda related to healthcare in the ancient period. Dhanurveda, right now we are calling war or defense. Earlier it is, that's also war and defense, but archery they are using. Right now advanced weapons which we are using. Gandharva Veda related to performing art, dance and music, etc. That is the Gandharva Veda and performance related. Then Stapatya Veda related to architecture. Shilpakala. These are the list will become 18. That's why we are calling Ashtadasa Vidyasthana. If you look into these six orthodox and six heterodox are Vedas are Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. Here also Upaveda, as we listed, Upavedas are applied knowledge. Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, or Stapatya, Arthashastra, Arthapatya Veda. Similarly, six Vedangas are also there. Under these Veda, Yajurveda, further we are classified into two categories. One is Krishna Yajurveda, another is the Shukla Yajurveda. These are the Shrutis we are calling. Smritis and Shrutis. We'll discuss these things in the next coming slide. Then other four secular head. Subhas Itihasa, Kavyas, Nataka, and Alankara. These are also different secular heads of schools. These are the broad way of classifying the ancient history. Literature. Yeah, similarly, these Vedas, four Veda, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda is there. We are calling these Vedas are Ananta, Anadi, Apurusha. Now, Ananta. These are the Ananta. Vedas is Ananta. Ananta means infinite. There is no finite. Infinite. It is going beyond. But infinite it is, not finite. But when we are digging, when we are going into deep we are going, Angiras and Shaunaka. For Shaunaka question, Angiras. Hello. For Shaunaka disciple question, Angiras has told, what I hold knowledge, ocean of knowledge is there. That kind of infinite knowledge. That's why Vedas are, we are calling Ananta, that is infinite. Only an infinitesimal portion of it is revealed to humans. This can be understood in the sense that knowledge is infinite. There is no any finite, infinite. When we are going digging, if you take the science and technology, when we are investigating, we are discovering, we are invention, the new things are coming up. The new things are coming up. If you take any field, if you take health, we are going in depth. If you take science, it will go in depth. So technology, nanotechnology. Like this also we are calling Ananta. That means the true, absolute and infinite. Brahman is not a religion. It is who is having a knowledge. The person will become Brahman. He is having that. knowledge. No,
Debate देना रहे.
that category of people are having knowledge, we are labeling as Brahman. That's not actually. Hello. We understood if one knows the infinite, that is opens up to the infinite self. We are not able to hold. Suppose if you go to ocean is infinite. How much of water you can hold in your fist or with your hand? What is the possibility within your fist, or what is the possibility in our hand? That much of water we will hold. Like that, the knowledge of is in the form of ocean in Vedas. But that's why we are calling Vedas are Ananta. It opens up to the infinite self. Suppose the kids are having small fist or small hands, the grown-up person is having big hand. Similarly, who is having ability, accordingly, the person will holds the knowledge through those Veda. That's why we are calling Ananta. Similarly, Anadi, there is no beginning, there is no end. There is no beginning and there is no end in the Vedas. That's why we are calling Anadi. Angadi. Having no beginning or having wherever we are in stopping, that is end. That kind of every word, every sentence, every stanza, every para, every samhita, every part is having a knowledge. That's why we are calling Ananta, Anadi. That is the big, end. For example, if you test related to that Karmanyavadikarastu Mapaleshu Kadachana, if you take the whole stanza, that will give meaning. If you take only Karmanyavadikarastu Mapaleshu Kadachana, that will also gives the name, meaning. Similarly, Nishkama Karma, that's also meaning same. Nishkama Karma. Now, that Swadharma, like that, we are making concise, we are making abstract. That is also beginning itself, it will be ending. That's why there is no beginning, there is no end. Where we start, that is beginning. Where we stop, that is end. If you go in depth, that will continuously, it is taking up. Wherever you start, wherever you end, that will stop. If you start continuous reading, Anadi, Anadi. That kind of things are there in the Vedas. It is said to be the exist eternally. It is referred to as the breathe of Paramatma, the breathe of Paramatma. This is a poetic expression. Those Vedas are in poetic expression. This does not literally means Paramatma has a breathe, but just the way breathe exists with a person's life. Similarly, Veda exists with God or creation. We are thinking, we the persons, where is breathe in our life? Where is breathe in our body? Where is breathe in our body? Similarly, Vedas are there, knowledge is there, but whether it is who he has created, but God has created, God has sent, but through someone, whether it is gurus or rishis or ancient people. That kind of Anadi and Ananta and Anadi. Similarly, Apurusha, as we discussed that Angiras and Shaunaka story, Paravidya, Aparavidya, Apurusha. Veda is Apurusha, not authored by humans. The seeds are said to be revealed Veda mantras to the world. They are called drashtas. Vak exists in 4 forms, and the Lord knows them. 3 are hidden, and the 4th is what men speak. The 4 forms are Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikhari. Para is the eternal form of Vak. Pashyanti is when a seer envisions the mantra. Madhyama is when it descends into or plain mind or mind plane. Vaikhari is the expression. Like this, Veda mantras exist eternally. They are only revealed to the world by seeds through God. That's why we are calling the nature or by God. The Vedas are calling Anadi, Ananta, Anadi, Apurusha. If you look into this image, yeah, these four Veda, if you look Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda, these are the four Veda. These number of recessions are shakas. Here Rig Veda 21 shaka it includes. Here further Karma Kanda is there, Upasana Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Different scenario, different purpose. We are using this Rig Veda. Karma Kanda. Here Mantra Samhita or hymns we are calling. Similarly, Brahmana explanation. Hello. 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 Yeah. This Karma Kanda we are dividing into two. One is Mantra Samhita, another is the Brahmana. Mantra Samhita we are calling ritual purpose. Similarly, Rigveda Samhita, this is the oldest and the best used by its priest, Hotri, who has used this Hotri. Similarly, this Brahmana, Aitreyi and Shankayana for the Karma Kanda. Similarly, Upasana Kanda, Aranyakas. Aranyaka means the Rishis who are staying in the forest, they are reciting those things, realizing the things, they are validating the things. I hope that you are aware. Once the Adi Shankaracharya said about, understanding the reality of the things, Patanam, Mananam, Chintanam, Sankirtanam. Patanam, Mananam, Chintanam, and Sankirtanam. That Patanam means listening. Mananam means reflection on the listened things. Similarly, Chintanam means meditation. What we listened, what reflected, we need to meditate, which is right, which is wrong, how to useful that listen thing. That is the Chintanam. Fourth is the Sankirtanam. Sankirtanam means sharing that knowledge. What we heard, what we reflected, what we meditated, realized, that meditated, realized things we are sharing with others. When we are sharing with others, we will get happiness. That kind of paranyaka, reality. Each of Brahmana has an asana. Similarly, Jnana Kanda is there related to Upanishadu. Spiritual truths, Jnana Kanda. If you take this Jnana Kanda, 21 Upanishadu are there. 21 Upanishadu. Here also, this Rigveda, 21 shakas and recessions. From 21 different types of Upanishadu, they form Rigveda. They are compiled into this category, Rigvedic. Table it is showing. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. The audio is not very clear. Some issue with the internet.
Issues. I connect. Yes, I connected to mobile. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Different. These Vedas are composed by taking the gist of different Upanishadu. They are categorized into Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. If you look into the last below this flow chart, 21 Upanishadu by Rigveda, 109 Upanishadu by Yajurveda, Samaveda is 1000 Upanishadu, and Atharva Veda is the 50 Upanishadu. This is just like, I am sensitizing you, but you need to, this is the composition of a different kind of Upanishad into category of Vedas. Similarly, if you look into this Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda, this Karma Kanda is also there. Upasana Yajurveda Samhita, mostly in prose form, used by its priest, are this Adi Varyu. Similarly, Satapata for Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda, Taitreyi and Maitrayini under Shukla Yajurveda. This Upasana Kanda under this Yajurveda, each of Brahmana has an Aranyaka. Similarly, this Jnana Kanda, it is composed of 109 Upanishadu. Similarly, for Samaveda, composed by 109 Shakas or Jnana Kandas. And this Samaveda Samhita used by its priest, especially this Udghatri. Then Panchavimansa, Sadvimansa, Chandogya, Adbhuta. These are the different Brahmanas. Similarly, each of Brahmana has an Aranyaka as a Upasana Kanda. In Atharva Veda, it is also composed of 15 Shakas as well as 15 Upanishadu under Jnana Kanda. This Atharva Veda Samhita used by its priest Brahma. That is, Brahmana is the Gopatha. Here Upasana, each of the Brahmana has an Aranyaka. It is composed of 15 Upanishadu. Like this, these 4 Vedas are composed by taking consideration of Jnana, these different types of Upanishadu. That's why we are calling n number of Upanishadus are there. Those all are the ancient Guru, prominent Guru, proven Gurus. They are uniqueness in their contributions in terms of knowledge. That's why n number of Upanishadus are there. They are taking gist from each and every Upanishadu. They are composed this Rig Veda. As I told you in the last session, somewhere it is written like that. All Upanishadus are cows. All Upanishadus are cows. Who is covered? Sri Krishna is the covered. He gathered the information from visiting to different rishis, gurukulas in the Dwapara Yuga. He collected information. He kept that information into 4 categories. Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharveda, somewhere it is. Sometimes they are calling Bhagavad Gita also. That is, we are calling Bhagavad Gita also, after consultation of all Upanishadu. That is the gist of all Upanishadu, Bhagavad Gita is. Who is the beneficiary, major beneficiary of that Bhagavad Gita? No, but rest of who are reading right now that Bhagavad Gita, they are taking that gist of that Bhagavad Gita. I mean, covered is the Krishna. Cows are the Upanishadu. That milker is the Krishna. Who is having that nectar? Arjuna. But rest of the nectar is there. Who are referring and reading and understanding and using that Bhagavad Gita, those are also getting the nectar of that Upanishadu. The things are written like that in the ancient times text. Similarly, if you look into classification further, this Rig Veda Samhita, it is having 10 mandala, 85 anuvasaka, and 1028 sukta, and 10,552 mantra. The Rig Veda Samhita. Similarly, Rig Veda Brahmana, it is also prominent gurus or rishis are during the period Aitreyi, Brahmana, Kaustiki. This Rig Veda Aranyaka, here also Aitreyi Aranyaka, Kaustiki, and Aranyaka. Similarly, Rig Veda Upanishadu, as we listed there, here 21. Under that 21 category, here main 10 only listed here. Here Aitreyi is there, Kaustika is there, Nada Bindu is there, Atma Bodha is there, Nirvana, Mudgala, Akshamala, Tripura, like this Bhaviri. These are the different Rig Veda Upanishadu. Like Hello, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
I am audible too.
Yes, sir,
net
audible,
is
sir.
fluctuating. Yeah. Sorry, if anything is there, you just, whether I am audible or not, text me. Organizer, please text me. I will take care of that. Like this Rigveda is composed by 21 Upanishadu. Here the major Upanishadus are 10 Upanishadu listed here. If you look into this, we'll get the certain basic idea of Rigveda. Similarly, Ayurveda, as I told you, divided into two categories: Shukla Ayurveda or Shukla Yajur Samhita. Here Madhyandini Shatapata Brahmana, Kanva Shatapata Brahmana, Aranyaka Brahad Aranyaka, Aranyaka Brahad Aranyaka is composed by this kind of Upanishadu. Here it is mentioned here. What are the number of those Upanishadu? Those are the gurus of ancient period, or Rishis in the Gurukula system in the ancient period of different dynasties are independent at the forest. Similarly, Krishna Yajurveda Samhita, Brahmana text integrated with Samhita, Maitrayani Samhita plus an Aranyaka, Katha Samhita plus Brahmana plus Aranyaka, Kapistala Samhita plus Brahmana, Taittreyi Samhita plus Brahmana plus Aranyaka. Like this, different types of things are there. Here also Krishna Yajurveda is composed by different kinds of Upanishadu. As we discussed here, this Yajurveda is total 109 Upanishadu, both together Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. Here out of those 109 here under Shukla Yajurveda 19 presented, Krishna Yajurveda 32 presented. Here total it will become 51. But actually the things are 109 Upanishadus are there with respect to this Yajurveda. Similarly, this Samaveda is composed by 1000 Upanishadu. Those out of 1000 Upanishadu, if you look into this one, here listed only 16 plus 10, 26. I hope that this last list. This Samaveda, here Samaveda Samhita, Samaveda Aranyaka. This Samaveda Samhita, Kutuma Shaka Rishishan, Jaimini Shaka Rishishan, and Ranayani Shaka Rishishan. Similarly, Samaveda Aranyaka, Jaiminiya Aranyaka. Another is the Samaveda Brahmana. Under the different forms of hello. Upanishadus are there. Here also Samaveda Upanishadu. Here 16. But actually, the Samaveda is composed by 1000 Upanishadu. The major Upanishadus are listed here 10 plus 16, 26. Similarly, Atharva Veda. This Atharva Veda Samhita, without understanding, without knowing Vedanga, the person cannot understand Veda. These are the basic things. Means how to read, how to recite, in which rhythmic, in which tone, where to give full stop, which type of grammar we need to use. All these things which we are learning through Vedanga. That's why the limbs of Veda. Those are the 6 explanatory limbs. Shiksha, we are calling Shiksha, knowledge of phonetics by Panini, written by Panini. Knowledge of phonetics, how to pronounce that Vedic literature. Phonology or phonetics, in which pitch, where that word will, born in our body, whether in stomach, whether in throat, whether at tip of tongue, or whether at both the top of tongue or between the teeth or on the tip of lip, where it will born. That is the making the sound, phonetics, phonology. Once we know, or once the person understands the shiksha, then the person is able to read rhythmically that karna, grammar. That's also written by Panini with related to these Veda. Shiksha related to phonetics, Vakarna, that is grammar, Chandas, meter, dealing with prosody, that is Pingalacharya written that, Chandas. That is dealing with prosody, meter, that is the Chandas. Similarly, another Vedanga fourth is the Niruktam. Phenology, etymology by Yashka has written that Nirukta. Fourth, fifth is Jyotisha, astronomy, astrology by Garga. But it is related to predicting the things with relation to cosmology and astronomy. That is the Jyotisha. Once what will happen in the nature or one's life based on their birth, based on their history, based on their birth nakshatra, tithis, all that. They are predicting the things in the person life or in the system or in the whole cosmos by understanding cosmology and astronomy. That is the Jyotisha, prediction. Then Kalpas, method of ritual, how to perform pujas, how to perform rituals from, whether it is at the time of birth or at the time of marriage or at the time of any ceremonies or at the time of death. Those are the different rituals from different parts of the life. Those are the methods of rituals through kalpas. Those are how to read those things and learning through this Vedanga, that is Kalpa Vedanga. That is Srota ritual is written by Grihi and Dharma Shulva has written. Like this Kalpa is the method of ritual. Srota means Sruta, Sutra explains the ritual of sacrifice. Ritual of sacrifice. That is Shrota Sutra. Then Graha Sutra, during Graha Praveshas, like rituals in the domestic lives, different times, Graha Sutras. Then Dharma Sutras deals with ethics, customs, and laws. Like this, Srota Sutra, Graha Sutra, Dharma Sutra. It deals all these things, the learning through Kalpa. This is method of ritual or method of performing a ritual, whether it is at the time of sacrifice or at the place of domestic lives or at the time of customs, laws, and ethics. Here, different types of prominent persons are there here. Along with that, fourth Sulabha Sutra is there. Treats the measurement necessary for laying out at the time of foundation laying ceremony. That is ritual also. That is the treat, measurement necessary for layout making, whether it is a plot or whether it is home or the other, whether it is layout, what type of layout we are forming. That is Sulabha Sutra. This kind of things they are carrying, but not common everywhere. Srota Sutra is different, Graha Sutra is different, Dharma Sutra is different, Sulabha Sutras are also different. If you look into these, some sutras, Ashwalayana, Shankayana belongs to Rigveda under this. Mishanka, Lathayana, Daryayana, Gobila, like this Samaveda, Shukla Yajurveda is there, Krishna Yajurveda is there, Atharva Yajurveda is there, related to different forms of sutra, whether it is Srot Sutra, Graha Sutra, Dharma Sutra, or Sulabha Sutra. Those are the things are there in different Vedas, but we are learning those things through Kalpa. Hello. Another is Smriti. Smritis are Veda, all Vedangas, and Smritis, there are 18 main Smritis or Dharma Shastra. The most important are of Manu, Yajnavalkya, Parasara. The other 15s are Vishnu, Daksha, Samavarta, Vyasa, Harita, Satapada, Vasishta, Yama, Apastambha, Gautama, Devala, Shankalikita, Usana, Atri, and Shaunaka. As we discussed Shaunaka related to Para and Apara. Shaunaka is a, Anjirasa is the tea. We are calling that a Dharma Shastra. That is Smriti. Similarly, these Smritis are secondary scriptures. Next in importance to the Shruti. Smritis are the primary. Smritis are the secondary. I mean, as we studied that Para, Apara. Shrutis means what is heard, listen. Smriti means what is remembered. The former is an revelation and the later is a tradition. The former is a direct experience by the great rishis. The later is the recollection of that experience. That's why Smriti and Rishi, Shruti and Smriti. The Upanishadu is Smriti. Upanishadu is Smriti. Bhagavad Gita is Smriti. Upanishadu is Shruti. Bhagavad Gita is Smriti. Smriti or Dharma Shastra are written by different sages, seers, and gurus of ancient period. This Shruti is considered as the final authority. If there is anything in the Smriti that contradicts the Shruti, then the Smriti is rejected, but Shruti we are accepting. That is the primary. Shruti is the primary. Smriti is the secondary. Smriti are the ancient sacred law codes of the Hindus. They are supplement and explain the ritualistic injections called Vidyas in the Veda. Vidyas in the Veda. Smritis are based on the teaching of the Vedas. Smriti have laid down definite rules and laws to guide individuals and to the community in their daily conduct. It will regulate their manner and customs. The Smriti have given detailed instructions according to conditions of the time to all classes of men regarding their duties in their life. The duties of Varnashrama, the duties of Varnashrama, as we are calling different four Varnashrama, the duties of Varnashrama, those things are iterated in this Smriti. And all ceremonies are clearly given in these books, Varnashrama. The object of Smriti is to purify the heart of the man and lead him gradually to the supreme abode of immortality. Based on our occupation, this Varnashrama has, we need to perform our duty. Someone is topmost, someone is bottom. But someone is having that knowledge, he will also moving to topmost. That is the spirit of this Sanatana or Hinduism. But some people are interpreting in different way. But this is the reality behind that. We need to understand. If you look into this kind of history from time to time, a great law givers would take his birth, he would codify the existing law and remove those that have become absolute. He would make alterations, adaptations, readjustment, additions to suit the needs of the time and ensure the way of living of the people would be in accordance with the teaching of the Vedas. Of such lawgivers, Manu Yajnavalkya and Parasara are the most celebrated. The Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, and Parasara Smriti, the laws of Manu are intended for the Satya Yuga. Yes, we are making different four forms of Yuga. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. That law of Manus are intended for the Satya Yuga. Those of the Yajnavalkya for the Treta Yuga. Those by Shankha and Likita are for the Dwapara Yuga. Those of Parasara are meant for the Kali Yuga. The laws of Manu related to these four era: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. If you look into these smritis, then itihasa, histories, as we discussed the Ramayana, Mahabharata, different Harikatha, Harivamsa, Yoga, Vashishta, as we listed here at beginning. Itihasa, Ramayana and Mahabharata, these are the itihasa. Similarly, Purana is there, Vishnu Purana, Bhagavad Purana. Like that, n number of Puranas are there, major Puranas are listed there. Those are the, Puranasa. Itihasa we are calling, histories, those are the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Similarly, if you look into the Puranas also, same class as Itihasa, those Puranas also, Ramayana, Mahabharatas, like that. There are 18 main Puranas, all written by Vedavyasa. 18 main Purana has written by Vedavyasa. There are an equal number of Upa Puranas also, or we are calling Sub Purana. Those are the Bhagavad Gita Purana, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Purana, and the Vishnu Purana are the well-known Puranas. A portion of the Markandeya Purana is known as Devi Mahatme. The divine Leelas of Lord Shiva are recorded in Tamilu Purana like Shiva Purana, Piriya Purana, Shiva Purana and Piriya Purana, Shiva Parakramam and Tiruvaliyadal Purana. These are in Tamil. The language of the Veda is difficult to grasp and assimilate. Then the local things written in the local language in the ancient period. Puranas are present philosophical truth and precious teachings in an easier manner for common people. These are the major Purana. If you take, we can call it as national or international Puranas are also. These are familiar to national level. If you look into this Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Purana, and Markandeya Purana, these are the, at national level, everyone knows that. If you look into the local history, right now, somewhere we are sitting. If you just assume I am in North Karnataka, especially if you look into the North Karnataka, that Hyderabad Karnataka, especially Basava, that is Bashveshwara, that is also Purana. Bashveshwara Purana is also there. Similarly, if you look into my Gulbarga, that is Sharana Bashveshwara. Bashveshwara is different, Sharana Bashveshwara is different. Bashveshwara was in Bijala Asthana. He was the economy minister by the time. But his Puranas are also we are reading. But that is concentrated to that northern Karnataka. Some part of Karnataka know the people, some part of South Maharashtra peoples know, some part of Andhra peoples know, but rest of the India peoples are not that much of aware of that Basavana. Similarly, if you take Sharana Bashveshwara, that is related to in North Karnataka, restricted to. Those are the Purana, local Purana, regional Purana. In every village in the ancient period, they born, they lead life, for the welfare of the society, helping to each other. The person will become a god later. The person has become a god. Those persons' life story will become a Purana. That is a local Purana. Similarly, in the ancient time, as a prominent persons, they walked and talked around, throughout the nation. Then the persons have become popular. Like Adi Shankaracharya has traveled from south to north, east to west. Everyone knows that. Similarly, these Puranas are everywhere it is there. Somewhere it is local, regional, state, some part of country, or east, west, north, south, or whole nation. Some people are very well about throughout the world also. Those are the Purana. Main Puranas numbers here given 18. Similarly, equal number of Upa Purana. Not only these are the 18 main and 18 Upa Purana, but if you make the list n number, finite number, n number. If you take every places has a that kind of figures are there. That kind of persons has lived in the ancient period. If we give the message to anyone person's life, that will become a Purana. Like this, under this main Purana, Vishnu Purana is there. Under this Vishnu Purana, 23,000 verses are there. Similarly, Naradiya Purana, 25,000 verses are there. Srimad Bhagavad Purana, 18,000 verses are there. But we are very popular with Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita Purana. Then Garuda Purana is there. 19,000 verses are there. Padma Purana, 55,000 verses. Varaha Purana, 24,000. Brahma Purana, 10,000. Brahmanda Purana, 12,000 verses. Brahma Vaivarta Purana, 18,000 verses. Markandeya Purana, 9,000 verses. Bhavishya Purana, 14,500 verses. Vamana Purana, 10,000 verses. Matsya Purana, 14,000 verses. Then Kurma Purana, 70,000 verses. Linga Purana, 11,000 verses. 81,100 verses. Agni, these are the main. I hope that you are listening my. But it is we are not able to understand something. But this kind of Puranas are there in the system. But we need to understand the things. Kapila Purana is there, Vamana Purana is there, Bhargava Purana, Varuna Purana, Kalika Purana, Samba Purana, Nandi Purana, Surya Purana, Parasara Purana, Vashishta Purana, Dveva Bhagavad Gita Purana, Ganesha Purana, Hamsa Purana, Hanuma Purana. Like this, n number of Puranas, Upa Puranas are also there. These are the Puranas. As I told you, the persons who lived has given message to the whole world. Those will become a Puranas. But it will be help us to lead, which will give some inspirations or message to one's life. Similarly, these are the Purana, then Agamas. The Agamas are theological treats, practical manuals of divine worship, how to worship the divine. These include Tantra, Mantra, and Yantra. How to worship the divine worship. It includes different kinds of Tantra, different kinds of Mantra, and different kinds of Yantra. Those Agamas will explain external worship of God in the form of idols in the temple. All Agamas treat of Jnana, that is knowledge. But we are worshipping the knowledge. And yoga, concentration. Kriya, esoteric ritual, that is work. Charya, that is worship. They also give details on temple building, image making, that is Charya. Like this, we are having different types of Agamas also. These Agamas are divided into 3 sections. One is Vaishnava Agama, Shaiva Agama, and Shakta Agama. The Vaishnava or Pancha Ratra Agama glorify God as Mahavishnu. The Vaishnava or Pancharatra Agamas glorifies God as Mahavishnu. The Shaiva Agama glorify God as Mahashiva. The Shakta Agama or Tantras glorify the God as the Mother of Universe, that is Devi. The Agamas do not derive their authority from the Veda, but are not antagonistic to them. They are all Vedic in spirit and character. For this reason, they are considered as authoritative. All Agamas are authoritative. They include Tantra, Mantra, Yantra. That is Jnana, Yoga, Kriya, and Charya. That is related to Vaishnava, Shaiva, and Shakta. If you look this Vaishnava Agama. Who are there under Vaishnava Agama? Here, Vaikansara, Pancharatra. Like this, Brahma, Shaiva, Vashishta, Kapila, Gautamiya, Naradiya. These are the Vaishnava Agama. Similarly, Shaiva Agama, 28 in all. The chief one is Kamika. Each Agama has a Upa Agama under Saiva Agama. The Kashmiri Shaivism called Pratyabhijana is also based on these Agama. These are suitable for this age of Kali Yuga, this Shaiva Agama. They are open to all caste and both sexes, men and women. Those are the Shaiva Agama. Similarly, Shakta Agama. It will glorify Shakti as the word mother, that is Devi. That's why we are calling Shakta Agama. That glorifying the God as the mother of universe. We are Panchabhuta. We are worshipping universe in the form of Devi. There are 78 agamas under this Shakta Agama. The texts are like Puranas, as we studied different types of ancient Puranas. These agamas are also like glorifying the universe through different goddess Ma, usually in the form of dialogue between Shiva and Parvati. That is the Durga, Devi. Mahanirvana, Kularnavam, Kulasara. Like this, we are having different types of 77 agamas under this. Yamala, Vishnu, Tadala, Tantra. These are the some important prominent work under this Shakta Agama. Like this, these agamas are divided into these three: Shaiva, Vaishnava, Shaiva, and Shakta. If you look into the Shad-darshan, 6 schools of philosophies, that is Nyaya, Vaishashika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva-mimamsa, and Uttara-mimamsa. Here Nyaya written by Gautama, Vaishashika written by Kanada Rishi, that is molecules, Sankhya written by Kapila Muni, Yoga written by Patanjali, then Purva-mimamsa written by Jaimini Rishi, then Uttara-mimamsa written by the Vedavasa. If you look into these Shad-darshan, Itihasa, Purana, Agamas are meant for the masses. Itihasa, Purana, Agamas are meant for the whole mass of people. Darshana form the intellect sections of the Hindu writing. Darshanas form the intellectual section of the Hindu writing. Darshanas are schools of philosophy based on the Vedas. They are meant for scholars having excellent power of understanding. Everyone is not having equal power to understand the things. That's why this darshana, or they are meant for scholars having excellent, extraordinary power of understanding, acute acumen power of reasoning, substantial intellect, and they are very good understanding of the Vedas. Those are become for them it is darshana. Similarly, the philosophy has 6 divisions. Those are called Shad-darshan. Here, those 6 different schools of thought we are calling Shad-darshan. Each school has developed, systematized various part of Veda its own way. Each system has its own Sutrakara, a great rishi. Sutrakara, a great sage or guru or sage who has systematized the doctrines of those schools and put them in short aphorism or sutras. Those sutras are short and terse. Those sutras themselves are very difficult to understand without the help from great teacher or rishis or seers or sages. But nobody can understand those, that kind of darshanas. If you look into that kind of sutra, or we are calling aparimism. It refers to a very short terse statement without any ambiguity at all, embracing all the meaning and containing the complete essence of large value in memory at all times. Those are become, darshana. Those 6 darshana are divided into 3 pairs to help to explain the philosophy of Vedas in rationalistic manner. That's why they kept those 6 darshana into 3 pairs. Nyaya, Vaishashika are the first pair. Sankhya and Yoga are the second pair. Mimamsa and Vedanta are the third pair. Like this, Shad Darshana has made 3 pairs. Nyaya, Vaishashika, Sankhya, Yoga, and Mimamsa, Vedanta. Panini has composed Ashtadhyayi, the greatest and perfect of all sutra literature. Panini is regarded as the father of all Sutrakaras. Panini is regarded as the father of all Sutrakaras. Sutrakara means great rishis. Dr. Rajkumar T, do you have any questions or doubt? Hello? Hello? Okay. Panini is regarded as the great father of all Sutrakara, says or rishis. Those 6 Vedanga, as we discussed, along with Shaddarshan, these 6 schools of philosophies, constitute 12 sets of core sutra. 12 sets of core sutra literature. The other literatures are later compositions like Narada Bhakti Sutra or Shandilya Bhakti Sutra. Each of sutras are supported by Bhashya, Vritti, Vartika, Vyakarana, Tika, and Tippani. Based on that, the person is able to understand those darshana. Bhashya, that is language. Vritti, Vartika, Vyakarana, and Tippani. These are the terms we need to understand this Shad Darshana. Bhashya is an elaborate exposition or commentary with word by word meaning of the aphoristic percept together with the individual views of the commentator of Bhashakara. Like as a translator we are using. Bhashya, Bhashyakara. Language and translator. The best and exemplary Bhashya is Sanskrit. Sanskrit literature is one of the Patanjali on the Vyakarana Sutra. Patanjali on the Vyakarana Sutra of Panini. Patanjali is regarded as the father of Bhashyakara. Other highly regarded ones are Bhashya on Mimamsa Sutra by Shabara, that is Swamin. Bhashya on Brahmana Sutra by Jagadguru Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, and that by Sri Ramanujacharya. Vritti is the short gloss explaining the aparimism in a more elaborate way, but not as elaborately as Bhashya. Bodhayini Vritti on Brahma Sutra is an example. Similarly, Vartika. Vartika is a critical study on the Bhashya, highlighting the imperfection and the way of making it better. Notable Vartikas are Katyayini on Panini Sutra, Sureshwaras on Shankara Upanishadu, Sureshwaras Upanishadu Bhashya, and Kurmila Bhattas on Shabara Bhashya. Like this Vartika, the prominent persons are there. Similarly, Vyakarana or Tika is a running explanation in an easier language. In a running explanation in an easier language of what has been said in the original Darshana, or Bhashya, that is Vachaspati Mishra. That is Vachaspati Mishra work on Darshana, and Shankara Brahma Sutra Bhashya is an example. Similarly, Tippani, what we are making Tippani when one person is talking or when the things are going on, we are making Tippanis or notes. Those are the similar meaning, Tippani. Tippani is a very similar to Rutti, but less orthodox. It gives explanations of difficult words of phrases in the original Kaivat, that is making the Tippani. If you look into any kind of new policies, new laws, side they are making meaning to those terms as Tippani. Those are the similar way Tippanis also they used in the ancient period. As Darshana and Kalas, as in the last session we discussed, Ashtadasa, so that is the Chausat Kalas we called. Those are the Chausat Kalas, means different 64 forms of art. Those are the Chausat Kalas. A brief overview of some of the major Kalas or sciences that existed and covered by Vedas are here. Akshara Laksha by says Valmiki. Similarly, Shabda Shastra, Lakshana Shastra, Shakuna Shastra, Shilpa Shastra, Malina Shastra, Supa Shastra, Science of Kala by Samudrika Lakshana. It is by seeing the hand they are making. Or Samudrika, oceanography, living under and above the sea. That is the Samudrika Lakshana. Then Dhatuvadu, that is the subject of metallurgy, Dhatuvadu. Vishnu Shastra, like Chitra Karma Shastra, that is deals with the science of drawing, Chitra Karma Shastra. Like this, in the ancient period, we are having different forms of art, 64 forms of art. We are calling Chausat Kalas. Those are the major. Similarly, super specialist. Singing is a kind of kala. Singing is what kind of singing? Hindustani, Karnataki, Western. What type of singing? Like that, n number of singing styles will come. But singing is one kala. If you make what type of singing, again it will make the branches. Like that, in the ancient period, we are having that kind of different multidisciplinary institute. They are teaching all those Chausat Kalas under specialization and super specializations also. As I told you in the last class, those Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramashila, Ujjaini, different parts of the in our country, we are having that kind of prominent places of learning. For those places, the whole rest of the world is coming to learn the things in those ancient period multidisciplinary institutions. Those are the Chausat, those are the Chausat Kalas or 64 forms of art. Similarly, 4 secular head, Subha Itihasa, Kavya, Nataka, and Alankara. Subha Itihasa refers to wise saying, instructions or stories in prose or poetry form. Notable this kind of Subha Itihasas are Bharatiyar Subha Itihasa, Samaveda Bhatta Katha, Sarita Sagara, Kshemendra Brahat Katha, Manjari, Panchatantra Katha, Hitopadesha. These are the Subhasitas. Similarly, Kavyas are referred to highly scholarly composition in poetry, prose, and both poetry and prose form. Those are the Kavya. Notable among the poetical Kavyas are Kalidasa or Raghuvamsha, Kumara Sambhava, Bharavi Kirtarjuni, Maga Sisupala Vada, Sri Harsha Nishad. Like this, we are having notable poetic kavyas of ancient period. Kalidasa, notable thing. Notable among the prose kavyas are Bhattabana Kadambari, and Harisharita. Notable among those containing both poetry and prose are Champu Ramayana. Like these, kavyas are also there under secular head. Similarly, Natakas. Those are the scholastic dramas in Sanskrit. Characters in these dramas portrays a number of moods, rasa. What type of rasa? There are 9 different rasas. They are Sringara rasa, Veera rasa, Karuna rasa, Abhuta, Hashya, Bhayanaka, Bibhatsa, Raudra, Shanti. These are the different 9 forms of abilities for expressions. Those are the rasas we are calling. These, the Shanti is not portrayed in Natakas. But rest of the things are portrayed. If you take Sringara, Veera, Karuna, Adbhuta, Hashya, Bhayanaka, Bibhatsa, Rudra. But Shanti, that Shanti rasa is not portrayed in, if you take any Nataka. Well-known Natakas are Kalidasa Shakuntala. That is the great Kadambari, Nataka, ancient. Bhavabhuti Uttara Rama. Bhavabhuti Uttara Rama Charita. Vishaka Datta, Mudra Rakshasa. These are the different Natakas.
Time
hello.
Sir,
Hello.
time, sir.
Hello, sir.
It's time, sir.
Sir, time is what?
It's already 5, sir. It's okay.
Oh.
If there is any discussion part, we can.
Sir, shall we run it? Then
Yes.
I will complete it.
Yes, sir. Yes.
My presentation will complete another 5 minutes, sir.
Yes.
Then we will give another 5 minutes up to 5:15.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Huh? These alankaras are also we are dealing with the effective composition of ornamental language, both in poetry and prose. We are making alankaras, different types of alankaras which we are using under secular head. Like this, Indian knowledge system composition of different vast array of those Ashtadasa Vidyasthana. Ashtadasa Vidyasthana. But those are the helpful for present education system to understand with the history of those or Ashtadasa Vidyasthana. It will helpful to our health and wellness, our traditional knowledge in mathematics, our traditional knowledge in medicine and yoga Veda, preserving our art and culture, traditional art, ancient structures and design, astronomy and conscious studies. By studying those Ashtadasa Vidyasthana, those are the foundations for our present education system. Those will become Indian knowledge system. If you look into the cosmology, as we discussed, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, these are also having a n number of human years. We are calling cosmology Anda, Pinda, Brahmanda. It is origin like that, Anda, Pinda, Brahmanda. Like Satya Yuga is composed of 17,28,000 human years. Treta Yuga 12,96,000 human years. Dwapara Yuga 8,64,000 human years. Kali Yuga 4,32,000 human years. Right now we completed 2024 human years, but rest of the things are there. Around 4,000 plus 4 lakh plus years are left to complete the Kali Yuga. Like this, precisely they predicted our ancient cosmologists in the ancient period. This kind of advanced things was there, but we need to study, we need to understand, we need to further make research on this kind of things related to cosmology and ancient astrology. Now, astronomy is also here. The Bhaskaracharya belongs to our state, Karnataka. He is especially in Bijapur district. Someone is claiming belongs to Maharashtra, that Ujjaini. Someone is claiming belongs to Andhra Pradesh and nearby Tirupati. But origin is in Bijapur district, Bijjar. He is the greater contributor of the zero to the whole world in the mathematics. Here, similarly, Ayurveda is also there. Ashwagandha, bitter melon, turmeric, holy basil, triphala, tricato. These are the basic, medicines for our health in the Ayurvedic system. If you look into the, as we discussed, imbalance between Vata, Pitta, Kapha, these are the imbalance between this Vata, Kapha, Pitta, the person will suffering from any kind of disease. These are the elements of Panchabhuta: air, space, fire, water, and earth. If any imbalance between the person's life, air and space will suffering Vata. If any imbalance between fire and water, person will suffer from Pitta. If any imbalance between earth and water, will suffer from Kapha. If any imbalance between Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the person is suffering from any kind of disease. To make this balanced things, we need to make the balance between these. Similarly, mind, body, and spirit. Ayurveda talks about this, deeply rooted in the principles of natural healing and balanced healing, focusing on the interconnectedness of our mind, our body, and our spirit. That is the way of Ayurvedic system. Similarly, arithmetic is there, geometry is there, physical science is there, commerce, economic system is there. Lot of contributions they have contributed to. Architecture is there, Stapatya Vidya, different forms of art, architecture was there. Vocabulary of Indian knowledge system is there. Antakarana Chatusaya is there. That is how to understand ourselves. Similarly, Antakarana Chatusaya and Panchakosha Tattva, Pancha Mahabhuta, Pancha Pranas are there. We need to understand these are the very important things. Very simple. It is very helpful to us. That's why we need to understand our Indian knowledge system. We need to propagate. We need to make further research. We need to, findings of those research disseminate to the rest of the world. Those are the helpful without any harm to anyone. That kind of Indian knowledge system we are having. With this, I would like to thank the organizer, especially this Malaviya Missions Teachers Training Center. Dr. Nanjundra Swami has taken much of pain to organize these programs, as well as director of this MMTTC Mysore. And here are all participants. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can ask.